Yes, on the bond violation, correct.
Got you. I got you. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't have any idea that you were sitting and waiting.
Oh, no, yeah, nobody knew. That's all right. It's okay.
Okay. Jeez, oh, Pete. Okay. So
All
let's
right,
see.
so is that Mr. Schaub on the LG phone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so this is file 4831-21, and Mr. Ransby is here on behalf of Mr. Schaub. And this is the date scheduled for a bond violation arraignment. And so, Mr. Ransby, have you spoken with Mr. Schaub about the allegation, and what does he wish to do?
Yes, Mr. Schaub is aware that the allegation that he missed his new direction testing on a number of occasions. He understands that violation could land him with some jail time. But knowing that, he does admit that he did miss those tests. I do have an explanation for his misses and a request to re-examine his bond. But knowing all that, he does wish to proceed and admit that he did violate the terms of his bond conditions.
All right. Is that correct, Mr. Schaub? You're acknowledging the violations?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Ransby, what's the explanation for the missed test?
Well, Your Honor, so Mr. Schaub is a CMH patient. He has no license. He has no consistent transportation. And at the time of the offense, I believe he was either unemployed or had limited work. So he was not able to make it to the testing. He has not completely abandoned all testing. He has tested throughout being placed on bond. But that was his situation. He does have some positives moving forward. I'm not sure if he was able to secure employment, but last week there was a good opportunity down in Pinckney where he would be able to perhaps get housing and a job with a tree service. So it's my hope that he'll be able to get back on his feet. But that is the situation for Mr. Schaub and the reason why he was not at each one of his required testing.
Mr. Schaub, where are you currently residing, and are you still in Traverse City?
You have not entered
I'm
any
not
numbers.
currently.
Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
I have no idea. I'm not currently in Traverse City, and that job didn't pan through.
Enter your participant ID followed
I
by
don't know who
pound.
that guy is.
Otherwise, just you are in the meeting now. There are 6 participants in the meeting.
No idea what's going on.
Okay. So, Mr. Schaub, where are you currently residing then?
I'm still living in my car.
Well, you look like you're on a bed right now. Are you
Yes,
staying with somebody?
I got a hotel room for the night.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your suggestion, Mr. Ransby, as far as bond goes?
Well, Your Honor, I don't know that. I guess I would ask that testing be reduced or moved to discretionary given his financial situation. The facts and circumstances surrounding the criminal complaint have more to do with a manic episode than any drugs or alcohol. So that's what I would urge the court to do. Mr. Schaub will continue to make efforts, but his ability to get there at every UA random is going to be difficult. I think another idea would, and I don't know if it is the current bond condition, but would to make it a condition that he follow CMH recommendations and aftercare, including medications.
Mr. Shaw, have you been going to any appointments scheduled with your caseworker at Community Mental Health?
Yes, I have. And I'm taking meds currently too. A Priprazole.
Okay. All right, well, I am going to modify the bond so that there's discretionary testing only for alcohol and substances. And we'll add a condition that you must comply with all of your recommended treatment through community mental health, including making all appointments with your caseworker and following their recommendations for any counseling or medications or anything else they have. As far as the violation goes, you know, the thing is, you could go to jail at this point because you're not complying, but I think there is a good explanation for why. And, but nevertheless, this is a domestic violence, it's a serious offense, and you do need to comply with all other conditions of the probation, including no contact with the victim in this case, or the alleged victim. So,
That's
Ms.
fine.
Cooper. All right. So, all other conditions of bond are continued. Is there anything else for you, Mr. Rasby?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
I have one question.
Ms. Odom, go ahead.
Yeah, just because I can't find it in the, yeah, I just found it. Okay, so this is set for jury trial, right, Mr. Rasby?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're all set for today then, Mr. Shaw. Feel free to sign off, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Hubble, we did call your case earlier and we tried to get a hold of you on Ms. Castor's. She was here, but we sent her on her way and rescheduled for August 6th at 9:30 a.m. Is that gonna work for you?
I had asked the court to not schedule me for anything from August 5th or 4th through the 10th. But it looks like I may actually be around after all. I was going to help move my daughter to Minnesota. So at this point, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I was in the other courtroom with Judge Stepka, and I've been having some technical difficulties, but I had 3 matters scheduled there at 8:45.
Oh, I thought we checked to see if you were maybe in the other courtroom.
I
but-
didn't. I can't do the visual thing, and I
Okay.
didn't check his document.
Well, sorry about that. Anyway, well, I sympathize with you, Mr. Hubble, because I'm still not sure whether I'm supposed to take off Tuesday, the 23rd, or Wednesday, the 24th, to get my daughter down to college. My wife is being very evasive about all this. So I understand. We can reschedule to a later date if you liked, maybe the next week, just to be sure.
If you wouldn't mind doing that, that'd be great.
Okay, that's what we'll do then.
Okay, would you be able to contact your client, Mr. Hubble, because she wrote down that date and time? I mean, I don't
think-
want her not, she'll probably get the new notice before then, but I would hate for her to show up on the 6th and not know.
Well, I had reached out to contact her prior to today, and we had some trouble communicating. I was the MIDC attorney all day yesterday, but she never did reach me, so I'm glad that she did show up because I was concerned about that. I will certainly try to get in touch with her.
Okay.
What day looks good for you the following week, please?
We only have 2 days available. Actually, I only have 1 day available that day because, oh no, I have August 9th. But you don't want anything through the 10th. I can't schedule anything through 11, 12, 13 because we have MDJA conferences. The next week we have only the 17th available for, let's see, what is this, a sentencing at 10:30. So not until August 17th.
That will work for me if that's okay with the court. That's the 17th at 10:30.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, sorry about the confusion this morning, and we're all set then, I guess. We'll go on to, is Mr. Simmons here yet? Doesn't look like it.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Oh, he's in your office, okay. All right, so this is file 4811 of 2021, and People versus Andrew Simmons. Mr. Warden is here on the defendant's behalf, Mr. Tholen for the people. And this is the date set for a plea in this felony matter. Mr. Tholen, has there been a plea agreement? And if so, what is that?
Your Honor, I apologize, but my request is that we just wait until 10. I know it was scheduled for 10, and there are victims that have been watching, and I don't know
No problem.
yet.
Yeah, no problem. We're gonna wait until 10 o'clock to give any victims, alleged victims, the opportunity to be here.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, so 2441.
I'll be back.
Okay, sure.
Can I run any of these over?
You know what, since he's I'm gonna go do that because I've got to talk to Stacy. I sent her a message. Thank you though.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna try to go nip something right now. It needs to be fixed.
right, Mr. Tholen, were you waiting for anyone in particular, or is it okay to get started?
I'm okay with proceeding, Your Honor. I think they watch on YouTube. I just didn't want them to show up at 10 and have missed it. But I appreciate the court giving us.
Okay. No problem. All right, so this is People versus Andrew Simmons again, file 214811. And Mr. Warden is here for Mr. Simmons, Mr. Tholen for the People. And this is the date set for a plea. And Mr. Tholen, what is the plea offer, if any?
Your Honor, the plea offer, to my understanding, is that Mr. Simmons would be pleading guilty to added counts 4 and 5, which are attempted criminal sexual conduct in the 4th degree. Those are 1-year misdemeanors and would carry Sex Offender Registration Act registration.
All right, Mr. Warden, is that a correct statement of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and most importantly, Mr. Simmons, is that your understanding of the plea agreement as well? You're going to plead guilty to 2 1-year misdemeanors.
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
original felony charges would be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Has anything else been promised to you to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your
that has
Honor.
not been disclosed on the record.
No, Your Honor.
Have you been threatened, forced, or coerced in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will have 2 convictions for criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree, and those each carry a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail, although sentences would run concurrently, so the exposure on this is up to 1 year in jail. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition, as Mr. Tholen pointed out, you would also be required under the law to register as a sex offender.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Has Mr. Warden answered all your questions to your satisfaction?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Warden, are you appointed or retained?
Retained, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you understand that if you were no longer able to afford Mr. Warden's services, the court would appoint an attorney for you at public expense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, I need to go over your trial rights with you, make sure you understand all those before I'm able to accept a plea. So please listen carefully. You have the right to be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And you have the right to a jury trial to make that determination. Do you understand all those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to have the witnesses against you appear at a trial, to cross-examine those witnesses and present your own evidence and witnesses. And the court would order those witnesses to appear if need be. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition, you have the right to testify at a trial, or if you choose to remain silent, and that silence could not be used against you in any way. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Finally, by pleading guilty, you give up the right to appeal that you would have if you went to trial. And any appeal of your conviction or sentence would be by leave, not by right, meaning it'd be up to the appeals court whether to even hear your case. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you wish to waive all those trial rights then in order to plead guilty to the reduced charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to turn to the complaint at this time. And it says that at a location 12 on Lake Ridge Drive in Traverse City and Grand Traverse County is where these acts of criminal sexual conduct occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And it also alleges that the act occurred or acts on June 23rd or somewhere around June 23rd of 2020. Does that sound right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and apparently you were at a party and you had some contact with a Jessica Reinhardt. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that for a sexual purpose?
No,
Was
Your
part
Honor.
of that contact?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, okay. And what did you do as far as contact that was sexual in nature?
Nothing, Your
With
Honor.
Ms. Reinhardt?
Andrew,
Mr. Warden, I'll have you
I did
take
nothing.
over.
He asked me what I did.
Andrew, Andrew, is it true that you touched Jessica on her buttocks for a sexual purpose?
Yes.
Do you agree that that's not a way she wanted to be touched?
Yes.
Did you do the same thing to Angela and Wozni at a different date?
No. I didn't. That one we talked, I didn't do that one. Yes, I did. Mr. said yes.
All right, where did the act occur in the second instance, Mr. Warden? Do you want to
Also,
ask
the
that
Lakewood
question?
Drive address, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And in both cases, sir, was the touching done for a sexual purpose?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And with regard to the second incident, that was also unwanted contact?
Yes.
All right, and I want to ask you again, Mr. Simmons, is this plea with your own free will?
Yes.
Are you okay? And you haven't been threatened or forced or coerced in any way to get you to
No.
plead guilty?
No.
All right. All right, then to the first act of criminal sexual conduct in the fourth degree is a 1-year misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to the second act of criminal sexual conduct in the fourth degree, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. Mr. Warden, are you satisfied there's a sufficient basis for the pleas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Tholen?
I am as well, Your Honor.
All right, then I will accept your pleas, find they're voluntary, accurate, and understanding. The next step here is to set this for a sentencing hearing. That's going to take place on, Ms. Odom, please work with Mr. Warden on that.
Okay. The only open day I have in August at this point is August 31st.
Is that going to work for you, Mr. Warden?
It will, Your Honor.
Mr. Tholen, are you available? I don't know if this is your case specifically, but are you available?
One of us will be available. It's quite possible it will not be me. But that's
Okay.
for us.
All right, I'm willing to pick another date if this is something you've been involved in.
I'm not looking for another date. Thank you, though, for that.
Okay, so August 31st, yeah, what time, Ms. Odom?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Prior to that, I do need to get a 3-sentence investigation report Does it make any sense to get a substance use assessment in this case?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
All right, we'll do that as well. So Mr. Warden's going to give you a number to call between 1 and 4 p.m. this afternoon, 922-4698. And you need to call them and they'll interview you about what happened and get your side of the story and provide more information to me to fashion an appropriate sentence in this case, okay?
I do have one further thing.
All right, we're all set for today then.
Your Honor, I did have one further thing. Mr. Simmons has a warrant out for him on a new case. Given that he's pled on this case now, and we do have a sentencing date, I would ask that bond be canceled.
What is the new offense that he's been charged with?
I believe it was the 22nd, approximately a week ago.
Stop.
It was recent.
All right, July 22nd.
I can find out for sure. I believe it was the 22nd. I'll find out for sure though. It's
What's the offense?
Destruction of property.
Our case was opened on 7/26/21, if that's helpful.
All right.
And we have it in the system as MDOP greater than 200, less than 1,000, larceny less than 2.
All right.
I think the offense date was the 21st. I apologize. I think it was July 21st was the offense date.
All right. Well, any violation of the criminal law would be a violation of the bond conditions in this case. A criminal charge would normally be at least the evidence standard necessary for to make that. So, Mr. Warden, what's your response?
It's his intent to turn himself in today on the MDOP. I guess if bond is canceled, that would assure he's earning time. So I would appreciate that whatever time he does spend in there is earned time. I do think it's a little bit drastic to cancel his bond.
Give me just a minute here. All right, I would note that the defendant does have a prior criminal history. And that includes three juvenile adjudications, 3 adult, actually 4 adult offenses. The defendant has pled guilty in this case, so there's no longer a presumption of innocence, and I think it's unlikely that this court would not be imposing some substantial amount of jail time given the prior criminal history and the little bit that this court knows about the offense itself. And the defendant has allegedly committed two crimes while on bond in this case. So I am going to cancel bond at this time. The defendant is to turn himself into the Grand Traverse County Jail. I'll give him until 4 p.m. today. And is there anything else for you, Mr. Tholen or Mr. Wharton?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, we'll be in recess until the
Are we there already?
preliminary examinations.
Okay.
See you guys in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tholen.
All right, so we have